Have you ever found yourself staring out the window on a quiet morning, coffee in hand, and wondered, how can I keep these old bones moving like they did years ago? Maybe you watch your grandkids dash around the backyard and think, well, I'd like to keep up with them at least a little longer. Today, we're going on a gentle stroll through something I know we all care about deeply: staying mobile, steady, and free after 70 and beyond. I'm Albert, and I want to welcome you to Golden Age Wisdom. This is a place where we talk honestly, kindly, and thoughtfully about living our very best golden years. Now, maybe you've noticed it yourself, those little things that once seemed effortless: climbing stairs, bending over to tie your shoe, reaching for a can of soup on the top shelf. The truth is, mobility isn't just about being able to walk without pain. It's about being able to visit Ruth for bridge on Thursday afternoons or bending down beside Harold at the community garden. It's about independence and dignity, about the little joys: watering flowers, walking to the mailbox, dancing just one more slow dance at your granddaughter's wedding. That's why today I want to talk with you warmly and plainly about 5 simple exercises that can help us keep moving strong after 70. These are not doctor's orders or trendy routines. They're small habits, gentle movements like friendly old tools, easy to pick up and work into your day, no matter your starting point. Let me walk you through each one just as I would with an old friend over a cup of tea. And if you find yourself remembering a story or have a special trick you use every morning, I'd love if you shared it in the comments. We're in this together after all. So, let's begin. We'll go step by gentle step. The first exercise, the simple chair stand. Now, I don't know about you, but I've spent a fair amount of time in my favorite recliner. There's comfort in a good chair. But every so often I think about how simply standing up from a seat is one of the purest tests of our legs. The chair stand is a humble exercise. It's not glamorous, but it's important. So here's what you do: find a sturdy chair, nothing too soft. You want your feet flat on the floor and your knees at a right angle. Scoot forward a little, cross your arms gently across your chest, or keep them on your thighs for some extra help. And without using your hands, stand up nice and slow. Then sit back down just as gently. Try for 5, maybe 10, if you can. Why does this matter? Well, when we stand up from a chair, it's really the thighs and backside, those big muscles doing their job. The stronger they are, the steadier we stay. I remember my friend Bill, who used to grumble about getting up from the dinner table. One winter, he started doing just a few of these chair stands every time he watched the evening news. By spring, it was noticeable. He walked taller, moved with a bit more pep. He said it felt silly at first, but soon it became as natural as pouring his morning out. These small moments done regularly become habits. They add up like pennies in a jar, and gradually, gently, your body thanks you by making everyday life a little bit easier. Now, if you're feeling brave, you might challenge yourself to do a set after each meal or every time you finish a crossword. But always do what feels good to you. Never more. The idea is gentle strength, not strain. And if you're comfortable sharing what helps you stand up strong, do you have a tip, a song you hum, or a way you remind yourself? I'd love to hear how you keep those legs moving. The second exercise, the steady heel-to-toe walk. Has anyone ever told you to put one foot in front of the other? Maybe your mother said to you as a child when the world was big and your own legs perhaps felt wobbly. As we grow older, those words take on new weight. Good balance is worth its weight in gold. It's what keeps us upright, sure-footed, and out there living fully. The heel-to-toe walk is as old as the hills and as valuable. All you need is a bit of open floor. A hallway works beautifully. Start by standing tall, arms at your sides. Take a step forward, placing your heel directly in front of your other foot. Toes like walking on a tight rope, only on your living room carpet, not some circus act. Try to take 10 careful steps, eyes straight ahead, focusing on staying steady. If that feels easy, turn around and come back the same way. If it feels hard, that's all right. Hold on to the back of the couch or the wall for support until you grow more confident. Why bother with this? Well, a steady stride keeps us free to fetch the paper stroll through the park or wander the aisles of the grocery store without that nagging worry about tripping or falling. I've got an old friend, Dorothy, who keeps a strip of masking tape on her kitchen floor as her balance beam. Every morning she shuffles back and forth with her heels and toes lined up, smiling at her own reflection in the window. Balance exercises are quiet work. Their magic isn't always obvious until the moment you notice how much easier it is to walk a straight line to your neighbor's porch, or pivot to answer the phone, or dance a gentle waltz at your church social. Give yourself time. These things are not a race. We're building confidence, one careful step at a time. The third exercise, the gentle march in place. Sometimes on blustery winter days or hot summer afternoons, it's not so easy to get up and out for a walk. Yet the heart still wants what it needs: movement, circulation, a bit of rhythm and life in your limbs. The march in place is a simple old friend that requires nothing more than yourself and a sturdy pair of shoes. Stand beside a counter or behind a strong chair and begin by lifting one knee, then the other, as if you were walking in place, not a jog, not a race, just an easy, gentle march. Set a steady pace. Perhaps you imagine the opening bars. Have a favorite march from Yes to Year. I sometimes like a bit of Stars and Stripes. Forever just humming along, knees rising up, arms swinging ever so slightly. If I'm feeling spry, try to go for a minute or two at first, just to feel your heart beating a tad faster, your lungs filling with air. It's a way of waking up the body, reminding your brain and legs and arms that yes, they still know how to work together. What I love about this exercise is how you can make it your own. Maybe you do it in the morning, while the coffee brews, or during your favorite radio show with music as your companion. I remember Ruth used to march all through department store commercials, counting her steps and smiling at how quickly she reached 100. This gentle movement keeps your blood flowing and your muscles warm, so that the resting hours feel easier and the active hours feel more possible. You might find after a month or two that walking up the driveway or across the community room is a little less effort than before. And if you find a favorite tune that gets your feet marching, tell me in the comments. I'm always looking for musical inspiration. Oh, and if you're enjoying these tips so far, I'd be honored if you'd subscribe or give a gentle like to this channel. It's our little community. After all, the more the merrier. The fourth exercise, stretching those ankles and toes. Years ago, I remember watching my grandson stretch like a sleepy kitten right after a nap, toes pointed, hands overhead, his whole body reaching in all directions. Such simple joy. As we get older, we sometimes forget about these smaller joints, the ankles and toes that connect us to the earth, that support each careful step. Flexibility, especially in our feet and ankles, is what let her step off a curb, put on socks, or pivot to greet a friend. So here's a small but mighty exercise to keep those parts working well. Take a seat, sit up tall, and stretch one leg out in front of you. Slowly point your toes forward, as if you're imagining dipping them into a cool lake. Then pull your toes gently back toward your knee. Hold it a moment, then relax. Circle your ankles once in each direction. Switch legs and repeat. You can do this a few times with each foot while waiting for the kettle to boil, or as you listen to your favorite radio chapter in the afternoon. This motion stirs up circulation and keeps those joints limber, so you're less likely to trip or shuffle when you walk. I like to think of this exercise as oiling the hinges on a well-loved door. Our feet, or our foundation, they carry us from room to room, out to lunch, down the road to the post office. When they are supple and warm, the whole house of our body feels steadier. My neighbor Harold was a retired mailman. He always said, if your feet are happy, you'll go far. And I believe him. So give your ankles and toes a little extra care. It's a small kindness with great returns. The fifth exercise, the reaching good morning stretch. Here's a gentle favorite, especially for those of us who wake up feeling a little stiff. I call it the good morning stretch because it's how I greet each new day. Stand next to your bed, or if you'd rather sit in a sturdy chair, raise your arms slowly overhead, palms facing in, and reach for the stars ever so gently. Feel your chest open wide and your back lengthen. as though you're growing an inch taller. Take a deep breath and hold it just a moment, and then let your arms float back down. Now reach each arm out to the side one at a time. Imagine you're drawing a big welcoming circle in the sunshine, like opening up your arms to gather in the day ahead. You can even give yourself a little hug once you've finished a gratitude for all your body does for you. This simple stretch does more than greet the day. It wakes up the muscles of your shoulders, your back, your sides. It helps keep your posture tall, and it fills your lungs with fresh air, which to my mind starts everything off right. My dear friend Rose, who swears by her daily stretches, told me she used to feel so stiff in the mornings she'd hesitate to get out of bed. Now she greets the sunrise with arms wide and a grateful heart. She says she feels lighter, brighter, ready for whatever the day may bring. Don't force anything, move as far as your body comfortably allows. Over time, you may find your reach grows softly, like the branches of a beloved old oak. A few thoughts on making exercise a kind habit. Now, my friends, these 5 exercises aren't about turning back the clock. They're about preserving freedom. They're about keeping alive the spark that lets us rise and move through the world with dignity and grace. Start small. Maybe you add one of these gentle movements to your morning routine, or you tie them to something you already do, like brushing your teeth or waiting for the toast to pop. If you miss a day, or if you find some moves easier than others, please be as forgiving to yourself as you'd be to a good friend. Every little bit counts, like pennies added to a rainy day fund. No one expects perfection. Not me, not you, not even the old philosopher who said a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. If you have a friend, maybe old Bill or Dorothy, who you think could benefit from a gentle reminder about these movements, why not share this video with them? Sometimes encouragement is the greatest gift we can give, and if something here rings true, leaves you smiling, or sparks a memory, won't you leave a comment below? Maybe share your own daily habit, or a story about a time when a little extra movement helped brighten your day. Hearing from you is my favorite part of this work. A gentle reminder on taking care. Before we finish, allow me a quick word. If anything here doesn't feel right for your body, don't be afraid to skip it or check with your doctor or a trusted physical therapist about what's best for you. Your comfort is the yardstick. The exercises we've discussed are intended to be gentle, friendly companions, not tests of strength or endurance. What matters above all is keeping joy in the journey. Some days you'll feel like striding purposefully across the room. Other days, an ankle circle or a deep breath is all you can offer, and that's all right. Grace comes in many forms. Closing words, folks, as the sun sets each night, I try to take inventory of all the little gifts the day has brought. Maybe it's the laughter of a neighbor or a new blossom in the yard. Maybe it's just the quiet satisfaction of having moved, even a little, with freedom and intention. I hope these 5 exercises help you feel just a bit stronger, a touch brighter, and more alive in your days. May your legs carry you to all the places you love, and your spirit remain as subtle as those will stretch toes. If you found value in our time together and would like to share this feeling with someone else, I invite you to leave a comment below. Perhaps tell me about a routine, a trick, or a memory that helps you stay moving through the years. I'd love to read your stories, and who knows, maybe you all inspire someone else along the way. And if you'd like to join our little circle for more gentle advice and heart for conversation, kindly subscribe and give a quiet like to this video, or think of a friend, a neighbor, a cousin, even your old pal from down the block who might find comfort here, and send them a note. Remember, there's no magic pill for growing older, but there's magic in the way we move through these days together with kindness and wisdom. Thank you for sharing your time with me this afternoon. Take gentle care, dear friends. Until next time, this is Albert at Golden Age Wisdom, wishing you warmth, steadiness, and joy wherever your next step takes you.